Hi, everybody. Just wanted to start off by saying that I hope everybody is staying safe and staying healthy. I hope that everybody's doing well. Karen and I are missing our classes. We really enjoyed being able to meet with you guys, doing our cooking, talking, and everything. So I hope you guys are doing well, and just wanted to let you know that we do, miss meeting with you guys for our classes. Today we were going to do a little cooking demo, talk about some things and review. We wanted to make sure that we review everything that we learned throughout the courses of the weeks that we did actually get to meet with you, starting with the review of My Plate. Again, reminding you guys of the different food groups, what they're for, and what did we learn about it. Right. The My Plate, of course, starting with the protein, go lean with protein, remembering that these are the food sources that help us with our bodybuilding, making sure that you're choosing lean meats like fish and chicken and incorporating beans into your menus whenever it's feasible. So thinking about calcium, remembering that those are also our bodybuilding nutrients that we get from the calcium or the dairy group, choosing low fat in that dairy group, and also remembering that we get calcium from foods such as dark leafy greens, broccoli, those kinds of things, instead of not only, excuse me, not just the dairy products. Remembering with the grains, this is our energy group. We get our energy from our carbohydrates, from the grain group, remembering to make half your grains whole. So choosing whole grains whenever it's possible. Remembering half your plate should be fruits and vegetables. So not just your dinner plate, your food throughout the day, making sure half are fruits and vegetables. Those are our protective foods. That's where we're getting our vitamins and minerals. Making sure that you are getting 2 cups of vegetables every day, 2.5 cups of vegetables every day, 2 cups of fruits every day, to help keep us healthy, especially now. We want to be doing what we can do to increase our immune system, and that's where we're going to get that from, is from those fruits and vegetables. And that's why this course, the classes that you're taking, and these vouchers and things that you're getting for increasing those fruits and vegetables are so important right now. We also discussed a little bit on food resource management, figuring out ways to help stretch your food dollars. What are the important ways that we can do that? Using ads, using a shopping list when you go shopping, using coupons, thinking about using what's on hand, incorporating those, doing a redo on leftovers, whatever you have as leftovers in the refrigerator, making sure that you can, incorporate those into something new or something different so that you don't get tired of it. Also remembering how important physical activity is, making sure that you're getting in at least 30 minutes of physical activity every day. Right now, I know it's hard. Some of you may be working from home. Some of you guys, your schedules may have been decreased. You've got kids at home. Trying to remember it's still important to make sure that you get that 30 minutes a day. And for our children, it's 60 minutes, right? Those don't have to be, activities where it's yoga, or anything that's rigid. It can be taking a walk with your kids, walking your dog, playing basketball with the kids outside, getting out playing foursquare, going for walks, gardening. We can start up gardening soon, riding your bike. If you like something that is a little more structured, there are a lot of things now on, if you have any kind of cable or dish networks, there are activity levels or activities that are on there for incorporating physical activity at whatever level you're at. There's also different apps on your phone that you can use now. There's different things on YouTube. Even if it's, doing meditation, taking care of your mental health, that's extremely important right now with everything that we're going through. Also, one of the other things is remembering to stay hydrated, making sure that you are getting in the amount of water that's recommended. One of the easiest ways to figure that out and get pretty close to being accurate is you take your body weight, divide it in half. That's how many ounces of water you should be drinking every day. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you should be drinking 50 ounces of water. All right, so we want to make sure that we're staying hydrated, especially when we're increasing those fruits and vegetables, remembering that water is going to help keep everything moving, keep all that fiber going and doing what it's supposed to be doing. All right, so along with this, we want to make sure that everybody is getting in those extra fruits and vegetables that we talked about, making sure that we're using our vouchers to get out there and purchase and utilizing everything that we can. We hope that you guys are all, still trying to increase your fruits and vegetables, trying new recipes, trying different ways to get those different vitamins and minerals in through different types of recipes. So we are going to showcase today a recipe. It's called ratatouille. All right, ratatouille is a very vegetable heavy recipe. I have Karen is going to kind of lead us through that process. We have a few different tips and everything that are going to go along with it. So we will start off with, I want to share with you the recipe so that you can, if you choose, you can go ahead and do this with us. You can get all the ingredients out, get everything set up. You can pause the video when you need to, and you can do it with us. You can just take it as a walkthrough, kind of get the idea of what it is that you want to get ready and how to cook it. But here is the recipe. Now this recipe, you can see up here at the top, it shows that it serves a total of 8 servings. All right, so if you don't need to be feeding 8 people, you can do it a little less. If you need more, you can increase it, or you can do the whole 8 and freeze it. Freezing things right now is a great idea and a great way to help stretch those food dollars and save you time. But you can see the list of ingredients here. Karen is also going to walk us through this in the next video, but it's basically vegetable oil, onion, closed garlic, bell peppers, eggplant, diced tomatoes, dried basil, black pepper, and parsley. All right, shows on here that it's need about 15 minutes for preparation and about 30 minutes for cook time. We're going to kind of, shorten that by going through the video a little bit quicker. And of course, you guys can pause it if you're going along with this so that you can go ahead and get things done at your own pace. All right, the recipe and the directions are right down here. All right, so we're going to again walk you through each one of these steps with the videos, making sure that you're heating the oil in a large saucepan to be able to saute the onion, garlic, bell peppers, and eggplant. That's going to take you about 15 minutes. We are going to then add the tomato and basil. That's another 10, adding the pepper and parsley before serving, and then you're done. All right. So let's go ahead and get started with the first video here. Oops. All right, so our first video here, Karen is going to show us what the ingredients are.
The recipe that we're going to make today is ratatouille, and we are going to look to see if we have all the ingredients we need. We need vegetable oil, a yellow onion, we need 2 garlic cloves, we need 2 bell peppers. We are going to use 3 today. We have red, green, and yellow bell pepper. We have an eggplant, and we have some parsley. We need pepper, black pepper, basil, and a 15-ounce can of tomatoes. So before we start chopping up our vegetables and preparing the ratatouille, I'm just going to go wash my hands for a good 20 seconds.
Okay, so with hand washing, I'm sure lots of you guys have heard all about this right now, making sure that we're washing our hands for the 20 seconds. This is extremely important, especially now. I am going to play this video for the whole 20 seconds so that you guys can get an idea of how long you really should be washing your hands.
We're just going to make sure we get in the palms of the hands and on the nails. The wrists.
All right, so as you can see, that was our 20 seconds. Making sure that you're doing that. I know you guys have heard, count to the 20, sing the ABCs, whatever it is that works for you to make sure that you are washing your hands effectively, especially right now, and then also anytime that you're cooking, making sure that we're washing it for the appropriate amount of time. Right. The other thing that we want to do is make sure that we are washing our fruits or vegetables that we are using to cook, and Karen will walk us through how to get those washed.
Next, we're going to wash our vegetables. So I'm going to put them in a bowl. And make sure we get these nice and clean. And we use our scrub brush and make sure that we get the vegetables nice and clean on the outside. Get up all that dirt. Good way to clean them up. Running water. So we get our parsley nice and washed.
All right, so that was the step on washing the vegetables. The next video here, Karen is going to show how to chop the peppers and the garlic, and then we'll move on to the next ones.
All right, so I'm going to start by just chopping up my garlic. And we're going to watch our fingers too and make sure we're doing that claw to protect our fingers. Oops. Again, the claw. We have our knife kind of held in a safe way to protect our fingers. Right. Right, we'll start our peppers. It's always nice to have a little bowl handy here to put in your kind of parts of the vegetable that you're not going to be using. You can always use that for compost. And again, we're going to do the claw, and we are going to chop up our peppers. Okay. Oops. And then I'm going to do another chop here. Okay. And do the best that you can to get them, the pieces, the same size. They will cook more evenly that way. It's nice to use every piece of the pepper.
All right, so now you can see in the next video here, Karen is going to show and explain how to peel and chop an eggplant. I know that that may be something that you guys may not be used to using. So she's going to demo that. And remember, as she did in each one of the previous videos, making sure that you are using the claw to keep those fingers out of the way so that you are not getting them in the way and take the chance of getting cut. All right, so let's see if Sharon can show. If Karen can show us something new on how to peel and chop an eggplant.
So our pepper is all chopped and ready to go. So we're going to set that aside, and next I'm going to do the eggplant. Now, one way that you can peel the eggplant is, we do want to peel this for this recipe. We don't want this kind of tough skin in our recipe, so we are going to peel it. One way to peel it is to use a peeler, a couple different kinds. There's this peeler. This one doesn't work the best. It's kind of, it's hard to grasp that skin, so I'm going to put that aside. I'm going to use this one. So you can do it this way. And I'm just going to go like this, and you can peel it that way. So we'll do a few of that, and then I'll show you another way. Do that. There we go. Do a couple more here. Now, another way that you can do this is you can, actually let's just finish this edge off here. Okay, do that, or you can go like this. So it's always nice to have, like, because this is kind of a oval, kind of rounded, you kind of want an edge that's flat so it's safer. One thing that you could do if you didn't have a peeler, if you did not have a peeler, put these scraps away, you could cut smaller pieces, and then as if you were peeling a potato, you could peel it this way. You just want to be very careful and get that off using a smaller knife. So we'll go like this. Yeah, not everybody has a peeler, so either way is just fine. And then what we're going to be doing is we want about 1-inch size pieces of the eggplant. So about like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to this, and I'm going to make a flat edge so it's safe. And I'm going to just chop, flat edge, there we go. And about 1-inch pieces. Those are a little long, but a little smaller. So again, if vegetables are about the same size, they're going to quick cook more evenly. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes how quickly vegetables will cook because they are different, and some will cook up more quickly than others. So I'm just going to put that in here, and then we will continue cutting this.
All right, so next Karen is going to show us how to cut up the onion that is going to go into this ratatouille.
So our eggplant is all chopped, and we are going to put that aside. And the next thing that we want to do is cut our onion. Okay, so I'm going to peel off. Okay, first thing that we want to do, I'm going to cut off the edge. Oops. Again, keeping that claw. And we want to create a flat surface. And I'm just going to cut in here. And we're going to cut this in slices. So our onion is ready. And the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to get our parsley ready. And actually what we're going to do is I'm going to leave the parsley here, and we are going to add the parsley at the end along with our pepper. So what we're going to do now is we are going to cook these vegetables for about 15 minutes using 2 tablespoons of oil. Right.
Right, so anytime we get ready to cook, we want to make sure that we are preparing our pan. All right, we want it warm, we want to get the oil in there. Karen is going to kind of show us a little bit about how to get that pan ready. Hold on, let me just get this working back right
So
here.
we are now going to turn on the heat. Let's see, about medium high. We're going to get this hot, and then we're going to be adding our oil. And then we will be cooking these vegetables for about 15 minutes until they're tender. So I'm going to go ahead, get that pan hot. Okay. And I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. You can use olive oil if you would like as well. But we're going to use the vegetable oil today.
Right. So next we are going to show how to cook the vegetables. About 15 minutes for cooking all of these. Karen's going to walk us through that.
Okay, so we have our oil heated in our pan, and now what we're going to do is we're going to add our vegetables. And we're going to stir these up a little bit with the oil on them. Okay, and I'm going to look to see when we add the basil cube in. So we're going to cook these, like I mentioned, about 15 minutes until they're tender. And then we will be adding our tomatoes and our basil. And then after that, we will be adding our parsley and our pepper.
All right, so now through the magic of video recording, this has been 15 minutes. You've sauteed the vegetables, and now we're going to add the remainder of the ingredients.
Okay, so our 15 minutes are done, and we are going to look to see how it's doing. Stir it up a little bit. Our vegetables are getting nice and tender. So I'm keeping the heat on low right now, and I'm going to add our can of tomatoes and our basil. So I'm going to add no sodium tomatoes. The recipe says low sodium. I was able to just find no sodium, or you could put regular in as well. The difference is in the sodium. This is still fairly low. Anything below 10% is getting low, 5% and below is really low. This is doing pretty good. This that we're going to put in is very, very low sodium, as you can see. So we're going to add this. So it's nice and heart healthy. We're going to add our tomatoes. So the low sodium is good for the blood pressure and your heart. And we're going to add 1 teaspoon of basil. Okay, sprinkle that in there. Stir it up. And we're going to let this cook for about 10 minutes. And then we will come back, we'll get our parsley on and our pepper. So I will start to chop the parsley so it's all ready. This has been washed. We kind of gather it together and between the claw, check the fingers, and we're just going to chop this up, and we need about 1/2 cup. So this will be all ready to go. I might chop that a little bit further, and this will be ready to go on top.
All right, so we also want to remember, like Karen said, if we are using canned vegetables, always choosing the low sodium or no sodium option to help eliminate some of that sodium that comes in those canned foods. If that's not an option, or you already have canned vegetables on hand that are not the low sodium, you can just dump the water off of them, rinse it. You can get about 70% of that added sodium off of those. So picking the low sodium, no sodium, or just rinsing your vegetables before you use them if you're using canned. All right, Karen is going to show how to wrap up this recipe and how to serve it.
All right, so our ratatouille is done. And we turn off the stove. Add our parsley. And 1/2 teaspoon pepper. Oh. And you can kind of season this as you like. If you need more seasonings, that's fine too. Kind of stir that up, and nice and colorful, packed with vitamins, nice protective vitamins for our body. And if you would like, you can put this with a whole grain. We have some brown rice, some whole grain rice, or another whole grain such as quinoa. There you go.
All right, so hopefully that was easy to follow and you guys are able to duplicate that recipe on your own. Remembering that you can substitute and adapt recipes however you choose. If you want more seasoning, you can add the seasoning. You want some spice, add some crushed red pepper to it. Whatever you want to do, adapt those recipes. You can also use it with whatever your favorite vegetables are instead of what the recipe exactly called for. Use what's on hand, whatever it is, however you want to adapt it. The other thing that we want you to remember, keeping in mind that you want to make sure that you're increasing the vegetable and fruit intake for your kids. There's a few different little tips that you can use. Hiding it in different foods like we discussed before about grinding it up and putting it into a meatloaf. Adding shredded carrots to tacos like we did. Another way is to making sure that if you have your kids cook with you, they're actually more likely to eat it. So having the kids join you in the cooking process. Role modeling is an important part. Remembering they're going to be watching you to see if what you're eating, what your response to different vegetables and things are. That's also going to be a key factor of whether or not they're willing to try it. Sitting down with your kids at the table at dinner time. Do you have a way to, talk to them about getting those vegetables in, distracting them with conversation. That way they're eating. Eating at the dinner table is also a great way just to strike up conversations. All right. When we can get our kids sitting down at the table with us, it gives us an opportunity to be able to share our experiences with them, be able to talk to them about their day and how their day went. It's just a great way to be able to sit and spend some time with your children. So hopefully you'll try out this recipe. Try out any of the other recipes that we have, that we did with you guys over the last few weeks. Hopefully we will be able to join again sometime before the summer is out. And I look forward to seeing all of you again. Again, stay safe, remembering washing your hands, get those fruits and vegetables in to help increase your immune system right now. We'll talk to you all later.